We are going to talk a little bit tonight about what to do when emotions run high. When they get up there, when the blood pressure starts to rise. We're going to talk about that. And so I'm glad that you're joining me here tonight for the spotlight session. And so let's talk this evening about how to stay grounded when emotions run high. When emotions do run high, it's really easy for us to feel kind of off balance or get a little bit of reactive or maybe touchy, a little edgy when our emotions are like up here, especially when it's something that really matters to you. Have you noticed that? If it's something that really matters to you, you can, get triggered really quickly. So this short spotlight session is just going to be an opportunity for you to take a gentle pause and to be able to stay grounded without needing to calm everything down or have it all figured out. It's in the height of that emotion that we are going to practice tonight a little bit of what we need to stay grounded. So let's talk for just maybe 10 minutes. And I want you to notice what's been stirring around in your life, in your thoughts, in your day to day. Something emotional maybe that's been stirring around and has got you feeling a little bit uncomfortable, maybe, or a little bit anxious, maybe just thoughtful, a lot going on. And we're going to just notice what it is, kind of put our finger on it, and then learn a simple way to stay steady when you feel your anxiety or your tension rising. And practice grounding without really suppressing your emotions, because we don't want to do that, or rushing your emotions. Just give you time to notice, learn, and practice. So I'm glad that you're here with me this evening. And this isn't about fixing anything, fixing yourself, fixing what's wrong. No, I used to have a lot of guilt around that personally, thinking that it was me and I needed to fix myself. If I could figure out what was wrong, I would not lose my cool or have these little emotional uh, issues that come up. That's just not true. It's just that I needed to practice a little bit more about how to find that steady place for myself so that when things felt really intense, I was able to come back to myself. And so I am going to talk about that this evening. And I want you to feel like you are in a place where you can just pause for a minute, really slow down, and figure out what you can do when your emotions run high. And I know that in midlife, if you have a leadership role of some type, if you're a caregiver, maybe you're an entrepreneur, those moments don't just happen in our personal lives, they also happen in work or when we need to make decisions and some of the various responsibilities that we carry day in and day out. And I recently experienced this firsthand when our Etsy shop faced a permanent suspension. It was really came out of the blue and about emotional triggers. That was it. Later, it was reinstated, but it was one of those moments that could have easily triggered some fear in me, urgency, responding in a way that I didn't really want to. And what helped me wasn't fixing it because there was no way I could fix it. I had to go through the channels and stay grounded long enough to figure out how I was going to respond to that and where uh, figure out, get some clarity on what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it, and be able to lean into that calm instead of lean into that strong emotion of fear and surprise and um, frustration over what was going on. And, you know, those feelings that I was having, I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with that because it was something I hadn't expected. And, it was just a really uncertain time for me because when someone says permanent suspension, you know, that's scary. Not temporary. It was as you said, it was permanent. And so it wasn't about me being able to calm everything down because I was anything but calm when I got the email and when I tried to log in to my Etsy shop and I couldn't log in. I'm like, what is going on here? So it was just about staying grounded, even though I had some emotions that I needed to work through. And so I want to talk with you for just a minute in doing a calm reflection, just a grounding scan, which is something that I have to do when I find that my emotions are running high. So let's just gently notice what's been happening in your world right now, in what you have been facing. And I'm going to ask you three questions. We have been doing this for the last few weeks, and we're like, and I have three questions for you. And so if you're ready, I want you just to take a deep breath. If you've got an essential oil or something with you, I've got lavender, and the lavender is such a calming oil. And so it's perfect for when emotions are running high. And you just put a little bit in your hands and you cup it, and you just, for a moment, just really zone into how you're feeling and what's going on. And then go through these three questions. So the first is, what emotion has been showing up most strongly for you lately, especially in relation to um, something that is just triggered something for you. So I want you to think about that and think about what is that specific emotion that has been running high, that's been strongly showing up for you. So question number one, identify what emotion that is that you've been feeling lately. And then the second one, what happens when that emotion rises? When that situation, is really pressing, what do you usually feel pulled to do? So when you have an emotion that gets a little bit triggered, it starts to rise, what do you tend to do? Do you try to explain yourself? Do you get defended? Try to defend yourself? Get defended. Get offended? Do you try to defend yourself? Do you just shut down completely and try to avoid the situation? Do you rush into trying to make your Wait, make your feelings known? Do you withdraw? What is it? When your emotions run high, when they start to rise, where do you find yourself on the spectrum? Do you automatically go to calm, or are some of these other things that I just mentioned, do they tend to arise during that time? And you can add it in the chat if you'd like to. You can message me if you want to talk about it, but let's think about, what do you typically do when your emotions run high? And then the third one is, what helps you feel even slightly more steady when your emotions rise? You know yourself better than anyone else. And when your emotions are peaking, what is it that helps you feel more steady? I want you to just think about that. Scan what's going on around you. Do some observation, because you know what? Sometimes what stirs our emotions the most is responsibility. And so we've got responsibilities, we've got decisions to make that may affect others. We have our work situations, or maybe it's something that's just kind of built over time. And so being able to do an emotional scan and sort things out can really help you. And during times when emotions are running high, I want you to reframe it a little bit and think about this. You don't have to calm the emotion down to stay grounded. So a lot of times you think, well, when this is over, or, if they would just listen to me. No, you can stay grounded even in the midst of that. You just need a steady place to stand, something to do. And this clarity scan that we just did is a, a place for you to be able to kind of pull back, slow down, and recalibrate. Because being grounded doesn't mean that you're unemotional or that you don't have any feelings. You'll have those feelings. Being grounded just means that you're able to be present with whatever's happening in the moment, instead of being swept up into reaction mode. So it's getting yourself to that place where you can be intentional. And sometimes the calmest type of leadership or action you can take is simply slowing down. It can make a huge difference. And that's why I mentioned the an essential oil or lighting a candle, something like that to help you. And as we end our chat right now, um, in order to integrate this scan that we just did, I want you to quietly think about this statement and say it to yourself. You are welcome to write it in the chat, write it on your journal, or whatever it might be. But tell yourself, when emotions run high, one thing that helps me stay grounded is, and fill in the blank. Is it your essential oil? Is it a clarity scan? Is it a walk outside? So think about it. When your emotions are at their peak, what is one thing you know for sure is going to help you stay grounded even in the thick of it? Could it be a breath? Could it be stepping away completely? If you're in a conversation, just step away. Some people like to write it out, but at any rate, before you respond or lash out, steady yourself. Wait until you have had an opportunity to kind of cleanse what's going on. And knowing that you have one steady practice is enough. That's all it takes. One thing that you know will help you to stay grounded when things get crazy. And this applies to our conversations, to decisions, to emails, to any moments that really matter to us. So I hope this has inspired you to think about what you do when your emotions run high, to identify what is that emotion that I'm feeling, and to go through the clarity scan. And I'll be putting those questions down in the comments so that they'll be handy for you. And as we close, I want to remind you that we have a clarity challenge coming up. But I believe it's February 17th. Doesn't cost anything. It's in a Zoom room. It's not live in the group. And I'll put the link down below if you want to join us for that clarity challenge. It's a 90-minute session, and I'll give you a couple of key things that we're going to cover down in the notes. But if you're someone who wants a clear place to kind of start sorting things out like this and finding your clarity, but you don't really want to add something to your calendar right now, there's also a clarity challenge self-study that I've created, and it offers simple prompts that you can return to whenever you need to steady yourself. So if you want a little bit more than just a 3-question clarity scan, I'll drop the link below if that feels supportive to you, and you can check it out. But there's no rush to do any of that stuff. There's no hurry when emotions are high to figure it out and to respond perfectly. Just notice what's shifting and let that guide you, not what's going on around you. Notice what's shifting within and let that guide you. So if you're in a season where emotions are feeling really tight, they're tied to your responsibilities, or maybe you're in a leadership role, let this be your reminder. You don't have to rush your response. Decision, email, whatever it might be, you don't have to rush it. Create space for calm, and then that's when the clarity is going to flow. And you will be able to stay grounded even when your emotions run high. So I just want to thank you for joining me this evening, and we will talk to you next Monday. Bye-bye.